Hey guys, thanks for checking out Scare Talk. But before we get to all the horror goodness, I gotta let you know about Anchor. Anchor is the platform that we use to upload our podcasts. Anchor distributes the podcast to Apple, Google, Spotify. It's free. It's super easy to do. You can record, you can edit straight on their website, anchor.fm, or you can download the mobile app and do a lot of the same. You can make money with no minimum listenership. Yeah, get out there, man. Start making a podcast.
Welcome to Scare Talk, a horror movie podcast for horror fans. This podcast will cover horror movie reviews, ratings, and rankings. Now for your hosts, Danny and Joel.
Oh, man. This is Scare Talk. I am Danny, and I'm here with Jewelry Joel.
Jewelry Joel. Hey guys, what's up? Nice.
All right, so today we are going to get back into the Purge series with The Purge Anarchy from 2014. Joel, who is in this puppy?
So this one stars Frank Grillo. He was in Minority Report, Edge of Darkness, Warrior, and Boss Level.
Okay.
It's actually pretty entertaining movie with Mel Gibson. And then we've got Carmen Ejogo. She plays Eva. She was in Alien Covenant, It Comes at Night, and Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. I think she was in the second one as well, like that Harry Potter spinoff.
Yeah.
And then we've got Justina Machado. She's Tanya, I think. If I'm not mistaken, these were the mother and daughter in the movies. I think they were. She was in AI, Artificial Intelligence. Final Destination 2. She's a pregnant woman.
Okay.
In that one. Scoob. And Gears of War 4 and 5. There's voice in those video games.
It's like, did they ever make a movie, Gears of War?
No.
Okay.
Not yet.
I know that they've been talking about that for years.
Yeah, I'm sure they will at some point. It just hasn't happened yet. I like those games, though. They're fun. And this was written and directed by James DeMonico. Same guy again.
Okay.
He wrote Assault on Precinct 13.
Oh.
Which makes sense that he got Ethan Hawke to be in The Purge.
Yeah. There you
go. The Purge election year. The First Purge and the Forever Purge.
All right.
So he's like all of them. He directed The Purge election year, and Once Upon a Time in Staten Island.
Okay.
A different movie this time. It comes out this year.
Oh, okay. All right, so this one is about three groups of people intertwined and are left stranded in the streets on Purge night, trying to survive the chaos and violence that occurs. Pretty basic setup there.
Yeah, it is.
You know, I'm going to say right now, this one's very average to me. But we'll talk about some positives and negatives. I just really don't have much to say about this movie, honestly.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Just, I don't know. It's just very average. So, all right, Joel, what do you got for positives?
So for positives, I do like that they took the concept of the Purge and they did expand it more in this one than they did in the first one.
Yeah, you get a little more background.
You get a little bit more interaction with different people in this one, like 3-4 different sets of people
right
in this movie, and I do like that. This one actually has a good reason to purge. I mean, better than most of the reasons that we've seen so far, and that's the main character. We find out what happened a year ago.
Oh yeah,
and like where he's headed.
Yeah.
I like that, he's the hero of the story, but he's also, he also needs to purge. And he needs to. I mean, it's
his right.
It is his right. But it's also a reason that a lot of people can get behind.
Right.
And I don't know if we're going to go... I mean, this movie has been out for 7 years.
Yeah, 2014.
At this point, yeah. So
this came out a year after, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, a year after the first one. So yeah, I say that because I don't know if we're gonna be, if I can tell what happens in it. It's been less than 10 years, but I mean, at this point, if you haven't seen the Purge movies by now, you're probably not going to. But yeah, so there was a good or better reason to purge in this one. I do like the acting for the most part amongst the characters in this one, and I like how it's setting up different groups of people's interactions with one another.
Yeah.
And this is I don't know if this is like parallel to the Purge or it's like a year after the Purge, the first one, or what. They don't really go into any like dates or anything. That's what I want to know. Yeah. I want to know dates for how far we've been in this world.
Yeah.
Because it would explain some stuff in both of these movies if we're like 5+ years into this type of a world.
Yeah.
Because I just don't see very many people actually purging in the first maybe 2 years. They're just like, I don't know if I'm gonna if I trust this this new system. I don't know what's gonna happen to me after this purge is over with.
Right.
But a lot of these people seem to have a lot of anger in them. So it seems like we're dealing with years into this basically apocalypse type of a situation. And you've got groups of people that are fighting against it.
Yeah.
Which I do like as well. Then what do they call them? The new founding fathers.
Yeah.
Is what the new system is called.
Right. It's like the government, new political party.
Yeah. And so
basically the far right, the alt right.
Yeah.
Is what it seems like to me, like some white nationalists or whatever.
Yeah.
It's kind of what they're going for, I think.
Mhm. Yeah, pretty much. And this was before alt right was really a thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, there's several stuff about this one that I actually liked that was different from the first one. These were two completely different styles of movies, different types of movies. This one actually felt more action packed.
Oh yeah.
This one was more of Michael Bay than the first one was.
Oh, for sure.
So yeah, that's pretty much it. I like most of the characters in it. Some of the kill scenes are pretty cool. I do like the minigun kill.
Yeah.
Taking out a few different people.
Yeah.
Including that one guy who is literally the same character in every movie that he's in. And his name's Diego. He's like that. I've seen him in several movies.
Yeah.
In TV shows.
Yeah.
Where he's the same exact character and everything.
Yeah.
And he was definitely a character that was like, how far into this are we actually?
Yeah.
Because he was the one that
was a little crazy.
Seemed very mad, very upset about something.
Yeah.
And this is like, that's not. I don't see that happening if we're just a couple years into this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Just that type of anger, that type of just hatred that you have in your soul.
And you're holding on to it for the whole year, waiting for Purge night to do something,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if I buy it.
Yeah, that character in particular, I was like, yeah, he's way over the top in this movie.
Yeah.
He doesn't last very long, but he was way over the top.
Yeah.
That was actually more of a negative than a positive. I think I was done with the positive.
Yeah. Okay, so for me, there's a scene that I really did like, where there's like a family, there's like a purge, I guess, like party or whatever, and a couple of people show up. It's like this girl and her boyfriend or husband, and then there's another girl already there. Basically, there's a little shootout that happens because one of them was cheating on the guy. Yeah, I thought that was kind of cool. A little twist there in that scene. I was watching it with my wife, and she was like, "There's something up with these people," So she kind of saw that something was going to go down. But like, she just like comes out of the bathroom and like pointing a gun and just like shooting at the other chick, and so I thought that was kind of cool. So I like that scene. It had really nothing to do with the rest of the movie, but
no, it didn't.
I did like that scene. I like the end. The main character trying to, get revenge, basically, and then being saved himself. So I thought that was cool. Cool little, bring some humanity back to the movie. Some sort of silver lining to this crazy world that we've created. And yeah, like I said, pretty average action movie. Not much of a horror film, like, really at all. So
yeah, not really. These movies are going to go in like a more political way, like a more political in the future. This one and The Purge, I believe, are, because the next one's called Election Year. So that's going to be very political. That's and then from there it's probably just going to get, so the tone is definitely going to be different. I think every movie.
Yeah, I could see that. But yeah, this definitely had that like anti-purge versus pro-purge battle going on, which I thought was kind of cool, and I think that's realistic. I think that would happen. So those are my positives.
Okay. Just a couple of them there.
Yeah, just a couple. I only have a couple negatives too, so.
Yeah, I don't really, I don't have too many negatives. I didn't really have too many positives either, because like you were saying, this is about an average movie. Especially as far as like a horror movie goes, like as far as our horror review movies on our podcast, it's like this isn't even really, like, this is barely more horror than like Army of the Dead.
Yeah.
Actually, this is probably slightly less horror than Army of the Dead.
Yeah, I would say it's less,
because that one actually had zombies in it. But yeah, so I don't really have too many negatives. Like, I like the concept is there. There's parts of the first one that I liked more than this one, but there's parts of this one that I like more than the first one. Like I was mentioning before, I do like the fact that they actually explored more of the world. That we're in right now. Instead of just being isolated in one location, which I'm fine with most of the time, but not when you have this type of a concept. This needs to be explored. Like everywhere. So in some ways it was kind of isolated, because you're still dealing with like a city, like one city. You're not dealing with states. You're not dealing with like the whole country in general. So it's more in the world, but also isolated to the city itself. And are they in the same city as the first one? Did they mention where they're at?
I don't think it mentioned cities at all in either movie. Not that I can remember. It's some big city though. Like, there's a downtown area with high rises and stuff. So.
I don't. Okay, so there is one negative that I'm just like, I don't understand what the point of it was. It was just to have them in the movie, I guess. But the couple that are like in the process of getting separated, they come across, they're grocery shopping, and they come across the these guys getting ready to purge,
Yeah.
and they've got their eye on this couple.
Yeah.
To a point that they cut their
Gas
what did
line.
they cut? The gas line.
Yeah.
Or something. And I was just like, why? Like, why this couple? Like, there's no explanation except to have them in the movie.
Yeah.
To have them wandering downtown, basically.
Yeah.
And it's like they don't. I mean, they come across them. They end up, getting out from that situation. But it's like, why target this couple in particular?
Well, so what I was thinking during that scene, or those scenes that they were in, so when we're learning about this anti-purge group, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're kind of, I don't know if I would say in costumes, but they're like kind of dressed up in a certain way. Like they have like the masks or whatever. They're in all black basically. And so when this group was targeting them, I was assuming it was from this anti-purge group. That's kind of what I was thinking. They were part of that group. And so they were purging in the name of anti-purge, right? So they're trying to take people out that they think are for the purge. So I wonder if it was because these people seemed they were white. They, maybe that's why they were targeted. Because of that. And because that's the group that I thought that these people were like a part of. Otherwise, they're just people there just messing with people. I don't know. I would say that was the most horror part of the movie, was them like kind of stalking them and following them around. Yeah. Especially because they were wearing like these masks and stuff. And so they were a little scary, I guess. But, I wonder if that's kind of what the movie is trying to say, too, is, we get these two sides against each other. There's going to be, civilian casualties. Neither side is really right, to be doing what they're doing. So, I wonder if that's why that was a part of the movie. And then also it brings that couple into the movie to, have their car break down and everything. So
I mean, the car could have broken down a different way.
Right, yeah. It could have just broken down. There didn't need to be any sort of reason for it. They could have just broken down. It happens all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think maybe that's why they were part of the movie, though, too, to show that side isn't really right either for what they're doing.
It makes sense. It's definitely an explanation. It could have just been wrong place, wrong time. That kind of stuff happens too.
Yeah.
But I mean, there was many different cars going by. Like they could have done it to anybody else.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then those people would have been in the movie and not them. So. So that was just. I mean, that's really the only negative that I have, and it's just like I just didn't understand. Like, why target these people in particular? And I mean, there doesn't really need to be an explanation. It could just be a random chance. Yeah. We don't know who they are underneath. Yeah. So for all we know, there's people that either one of them work with. So yeah. Exacting some revenge or something.
Right. Right. So for me, for negatives, I didn't think the acting was that good. Especially, I wrote this down first, so I think it was just kind of the vibe I got from the acting and from the characters. Initially, I think I got used to it throughout the movie, but there was something about the acting and just the way it looked. It looked a little more low budget, even though it was a bigger movie. Like there was a lot more, of the world that we get to see. It just felt like a lesser version of the first one, like as far as quality, like film quality. So yeah, I felt like it looked kind of cheap, and it's just very average. I will remember this movie for nothing in like 2 years. Like I'll go back thinking, what was that about? I don't even know. Right now it's fresh in my mind because I just watched it, but
yeah,
in a little while, this is really a forgettable movie.
By the time the next one comes out, and we have to
we'll have to remember the ranking. I don't know. I don't know where this will probably go right in the middle, I assume. But we'll see.
We'll have to go back to this or to the fifth one.
Yeah.
Or we can have a separate ranking video, or just do it all on the fifth.
I don't know. Maybe a separate one.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's 5 movies, so
yeah.
I don't know. We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean that's about it. There's just not much great or much really bad to say about it. It's kind of one of those movies. It's just whatever to me.
It's.
What do you think?
There's not a whole lot. This is actually a lot of people's they rank this one up there as far as the better.
Oh, really?
Purge movies go, and a lot of people I've seen actually put this one above the first one. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just I do like it. There's nothing wrong with the movie itself.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just there's just also something about it that I mean. There's nothing wrong, but there's not really anything like you're saying special about it.
Yeah.
It's
definitely Michael Bay,
which is still this one's definitely more Michael Bay than the first one.
Yeah.
And I he didn't direct it; he was just a producer of it. But who knows how much say he actually had?
Right.
He could have just been putting his name on stuff like he usually does. Yeah. So there's definitely more explosions in this one than the first one. Which was going to happen because this is dealing with more, as far as the downtown area and just the city in general. There's going to be more, going on as far as that goes, and it's a weird one to rank because
it is
because there's like we were saying there's nothing wrong with the movie, but it's also not that special. It has the same idea, the same concept as the first one, as all of them are going to have, really, about this world that we're now living in. But there's nothing much else to that. It dives in the lives of 5 or 6 people, and they're all just basically trying to get home.
Yeah, just trying to survive the night.
Yeah, and that's, it's a basic premise, but that's exactly what this movie is. Yeah. So,
all right, enough talking about it. Let's rate it. What do we got for
all right
percentage? I'm
gonna give this one a 77.
Okay, I'm going 71. So man. Pretty average.
Yeah.
We'll see where this one lands in the ranking. I'm hoping for election year and the first Purge. I haven't watched those yet. I'm hoping for an improvement there.
Hoping this is going to be the last.
Yeah.
The number 5 of 5.
Yeah, me too. So we'll see. Yeah. All right. So this has been our episode on The Purge Anarchy. Go find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We're on all those. You just search Scare Talk. You're likely to find us on there. Send us a comment or a message. Give us a recommendation or a request for a review. Give us a rating on Apple Podcasts and help us get some more listeners. So that is it. This has been Scare Talk.
Sleep tight.
Don't let the Purgers bite.